Welcome to Racing Legends Volume 5. I'm Tim Flock. I would like to take this opportunity to thank you for making Racing Legends such a great success. I hope to see all of you at the NASCAR tracks in 1989 and come by the official pace car from Charlotte Motor Speedway. And let's talk about Racing Legend films and Volume 6. Now let's go racing.
Today's automobiles have what it takes to go where you want and how you want. Big V8 engines, power and performance to spare, solid frames, balanced chassis for good handling so that you can point them down a highway and the driving is easy. Too easy for some drivers and mechanics. They want to see what a car will do in competition. So, a sport was born, stock car racing. Today, the largest spectator sport in America. Motor fans love it. The challenge, the skill, the excitement. In every part of the country, there are new speedways, four-cornered turnpikes, where the running is one way, but flat out. And a car's life is crowded into one grinding afternoon. At Atlanta, the capital of Georgia, and some say of all the Southland, one can see the signs of change and progress. Atlanta is one of the fastest growing cities in the country. And here, as everywhere, the symbol of progress is the automobile. So, where peaches once grew, the Atlantans built a new track where the automobile could be tested in competition. The Atlanta International Raceway. This is the day of the Atlanta 500-mile Grand National Race. Miss Atlanta takes a tour around the 1.5-mile track before 50,000 admiring fans. The top drivers in the stock car racing circuit are here for the big event. Fred Lorenzen, Paul Goldsmith, Bobby Johns, Jack Smith, Joe Weatherly. Nelson Weaver, president of the Atlanta Raceway, gives the starting signal, and 46 late model stock cars move out on the track for the parade lap. Ford, Pontiac, Chevrolet, Mercury, Chrysler, Plymouth, Dodge. All are here to run in competition on the newest track in the South. According to the rules of NASCAR, only modifications for safety of the driver are permitted. The field of 46 wheels into the front straightaway, the pace car gets off the track, and the race is on. Pearson, Banjo Matthews, Bobby Johns take off in a blistering battle for first place. As the field begins its second circuit of the track, the storm clouds move up from the southwest. Twice before this year, the race has been postponed because of rain. The darkening sky makes for faster, cooler running. But will the rain hold off? Heading into the front stretch, Blackburn spins. And gets out of his car safely. At the end of 30 laps, the field has sprung out. car tangled. Richard Petty recovered. Larry Frank limps into the pits on his own power. Rex White gets towed off the track, out of the race. Jimmy Pardew's crew won't give up. They go to work with some fast repairs. When the track is cleared, Joe Weatherly in number 8 challenges the leaders and passes Pearson and Johns to run in front. Rain. The fans scramble for cover. But it's only a shower. The pace car holds the field to caution laps until the track dries. Weatherly pits and gives up the lead. The green flag signals full speed. Fred Lorenzen, number 28 Ford, fights for the lead with Banjo Matthews in Pontiac 02. Banjo edges past. Lorenzen moves ahead. For 175 miles, it's Lorenzen, Matthews, and then back again. Wheel to wheel, the lead changing 23 times. As storm clouds gather again, each driver stands on the throttle to get in front and stay there. If the race is stopped after 250 miles have been run, it's official. But how long can their fuel hold out? Each car is limited to the standard 22-gallon tank. Miles. Banjo Matthews is slowing down. His gas tank is empty. He's coasting into the pit. Lorenzen puts his foot down. The Ford responds, and he stretches his lead. With better gas mileage, he's gambling on the rain starting before his fuel runs out. Banjo is out of the pits in 32 seconds. Off to catch Lorenzen. Now Lorenzen pits with a 40-second lead. It's too risky not to refuel. Can Banjo get around before number 28 completes the pit stop? Lorenzen roars out of the pits in 27 seconds, 10 seconds ahead of Banjo. And then the rains come. A torrential rain, flooding the track, nearly drowning fans and crew members. The race is called. It's official at 317 miles, with hard-driving Fred Lorenzen in his number 28 Ford, the winner of the grueling Atlanta 500. The spectators, wet but in good humor, thread their way homeward. They've seen a great race. The Atlanta papers tell the story to the world. Fred Lorenzen sets the pace in an Autolite-equipped 62 Ford. At the Rebel 300, Darlington, South Carolina, 32 late model convertibles are ready for the 300-mile race. The green flag sends them on their way, and the race is on. The field settles down in the groove as drivers battle for position. Mile after mile wears on at a blistering pace on this 1 3/8 mile course. Nelson Stacy, running hard in Ford number 29, holds first place. Marvin Patch, Ford number 21, challenges the leader. Fred Lorenzen, Ford number 28, holds third. Lorenzen, in his Ford convertible, set a new track record of 130.194 miles per hour during qualification. Patch pours it on, trying to catch the leader, but Stacy won't be caught. He barrels down the straightaway to win, seconds ahead of Patch. The checkered flag. Stacy's victory duplicates his win in a Ford last September at the Darlington Southern 500. Another great race goes into the record book. At Charlotte, North Carolina, 3 million cubic yards of southern clay were moved to build another great track, the Charlotte Motor Speedway. The big event here is the World 600. The goal, 600 miles in less than 5 hours. 48 late model stock passenger cars are here for this supreme torture test. The race is on, and they're running at 135 miles an hour. The grueling battle grinds on for hour after relentless hour. Engines and chassis must take terrific punishment. The pace takes its toll of equipment. At 300 miles, 17 cars are out of the race. Just as on the highway, these cars have to stop for fuel. But at this service station, every second counts against the driver and the car. When a car pits, there's no time in competition to lift the hood. A car has to run hard and run all day. With a new track record of 125.5 miles per hour for 600 miles, Nelson Stacy, in his number 29 Ford, outlasts and outruns the competition to win the World 600. Nelson Stacy rolls into the winner's circle as crowds cheer. With this victory, the Holman and Moody crew with Fords run up a winning string of 3 Grand Nationals in a row. A tremendous achievement for drivers, crew, and car. As the spectators, motorists all, leave for highway and home, they know that today's cars have what it takes, and tomorrow's cars will be even better, because they are competition-proof on the four-cornered turnpike.
When they built the Daytona International Speedway, they knew the fastest racetrack in the world. But during practice and time trials for the 500-mile Grand National, they wondered, how fast can a stock car run? Now, Now they know. They tried to build the safest track in the world, designed for unlimited speed. But the drivers wondered if this were possible. At 153 miles an hour, they were at the edge of control. At 154, some were beyond it. Some kept trying. Now they know, the drivers and the fans, that no track is unlimited. But when the fans first arrived to watch sprint races and practice sessions, less than a week before the big 500-mile race, nobody knew what might happen. A 4,000-pound race car will do some amazing tricks at 154 miles an hour. It acts more like an ice cube on a tin plate than a road-holding machine with a man in control. This chilled the driver's bravery. There was almost nothing they could do once it got away. Drivers and fans were quick to learn about the limits of speed. They learned a race car can't fly. The old rules of racing still apply. A winning race driver is a man who will go as fast as the track allows and the car will handle, and then just a little bit faster. Race day, 58 cars on the starting line. The rest wrecked and ruined. That is the story hidden behind the glittering paint and race day excitement. Speed has reached a critical point. $65,000 fans, the largest crowd ever gathered in Daytona's history, wait for a 500-mile race that, despite all warnings, promises to be the fastest of them all. The racing stock cars are on their way. In the first row, the fastest qualifiers, Fireball Roberts in number 22, and next to him, Joe Weatherly in number 8. Both new 1961 wide-track Pontiacs in the first big race of the year. Strung out for half a mile along the backstretch are Pontiac, Chevrolet, Ford, Thunderbird, Dodge, Oldsmobile, and Chrysler. Into the third and fourth turn, the pace is faster. Number 22, Roberts at the wheel, qualified for the front row by running 155.7 miles an hour. Weatherly was only a hair slower. Nobody on that racetrack is slower than 145, except the pace car. And now that is moving off the track. They'll get the green flag now. And the race is on. Weatherly leads down the front stretch, but Roberts grabs position 1, soaring into the high bank turn at 150 miles an hour. Weatherly holds second place as they sweep through the turn. Roberts in number 22 Pontiac showing the way as he winds up that big engine. Look at them run! On the the backstretch, Weatherly closes in, trying to make a race of it. But Roberts doesn't lift his foot as he looks at that wall. He climbs into the high groove at full speed, heading for the front stretch with Weatherly in second place and 5 more fast cars bunched up right behind him. End of lap 1. Speed more than 151 miles an hour, and this is only the beginning. Weatherly challenges, but Roberts in number 22 Pontiac plants his foot a little deeper, turning his second lap at 154 miles an hour. He's running laps within a fraction of a second of his own one-lap qualifying record. Out of the pack, Banjo Matthews in number 94 Ford is running at 155 miles an hour, fender to fender with Joe Weatherly in a bid for second place. Matthews is making his move, blasting past Weatherly's number 8 to challenge Roberts for first place. Other challengers coming fast. Junior Johnson in number 27 Pontiac is standing on the throttle at 155 miles an hour. Right behind him, Paul Goldsmith's white Pontiac has moved from 17th starting position and is now running 5th. Rex White, defending NASCAR champion, moves his Chevrolet within striking distance of the leaders. Banjo Matthews' red and white Ford drops back, and Junior Johnson grabs second place. Roberts wants to go, but signals from the pit hold him down. His chief mechanic, Smokey Unick, wants Roberts to run at 153 and let the challengers wear themselves out at higher speeds. The lead goes to number 27, Junior Johnson, winner of this race a year ago. But Johnson's in trouble. Johnson turned laps at better than 155 miles an hour in his wild ride into first place. Roberts takes back position 1 after running the first 100 miles in less than 40 minutes. Junior Johnson is through. Driving a borrowed car, his chin still bandaged from a wreck early in the week, Johnson lead-footed his way from 43rd starting position. Paul Goldsmith's white 31 takes up the chase. He's running 154 miles an hour to hold second place. This speed is more than many cars can take. This racetrack breaks up engines and chassis. It's all out, all the way. There's no place where drivers can breathe the engines by running at reduced speed. The track looks smooth, but an hour at 150 plus puts more stress on suspension than years of ordinary highway use. Before the race is half over, 17 cars are parked in the pit area. Although many cars limp into the pits, some get there in a hurry. At 250 miles, Fireball Roberts in his Pontiac has set a new record. Making only 1 pit stop, Roberts has run half the race at an average speed of 151 miles an hour. Now running second, Marvin Panch, Pontiac number 20, team car to Fireball Roberts. Look out, 2 cars spinning. After running with the leaders all afternoon, Banjo Matthews tangles with Darrell Derringer with less than 20 laps to go. Derringer is stalled on the racetrack with high-speed traffic bearing down on him. Derringer is underway. He's moving off the high bank and nursing his car toward the pits. Banjo Matthews is all right, but he's all through. The tension mounts as the laps tick away. With less than 50 miles to run, Fireball Roberts has set a new record at every distance. His average speed at the end of 450 miles is still more than 151 miles an hour. But something is wrong. Is it Roberts? There's a car heading into the pits. It is Fireball. With only 13 laps to go, Fireball Roberts is in the pits. Can his crew perform some mechanical miracle to keep him running for another 30 miles? Marvin Panch, Roberts' teammate, has been running a full lap behind the leader. He takes over first place from Roberts, but Joe Weatherly, now only 16 seconds behind Panch, makes his move. It's now a battle of the Pontiacs. No one else is close enough to challenge. Roberts is the victim of a freak mechanical failure. Vibration shook the starter loose. It fell, bounced off the racetrack, and tore a hole in the oil pan. Panch, number 20, is warned that Weatherly is right behind him. But Roberts hasn't the heart to watch the battle of his teammate going through the last laps. 50 feet away, Bud Moore, mechanic for Joe Weatherly, also knows the heartbreak of defeat. Before the race, he said, "I wish that car of ours was just a half a mile an hour faster." 16 seconds separate Weatherly and mechanic Moore from position 1. But that Panch can run. Goldsmith, number 31, is third. Pontiacs are leading the field of 27 cars still running. Panch bores ahead, coming up to the checkered flag. Uh-oh! Larry Frank slides into the infield and out of the way as Marvin Panch wheels his Pontiac across the finish line. Smokey Unick, the winning mechanic, accepts congratulations with mixed emotions. Panch slows down, takes an extra lap for insurance, and then turns down the pit road to the victory circle. This ride has earned Marvin Panch more than $20,000, the lion's share of the total purse of almost $100,000. Panch also moves up in the NASCAR point standings for the national championship. Marvin Panch, in a Pontiac, completed the 500-mile run at an average speed of 149.6 miles an hour, a new world's record for a continuous 500-mile race anywhere. His speed broke the existing Daytona record by almost 15 miles, leaving no question that this has been the fastest of them all.
This baby will have a very special home, a racetrack, a 1 mile long $1 million nursery built of asphalt, concrete, and steel. Its life substance will come only from people who come to see it run, and a select group who come to challenge it. Millions know of its coming, and tomorrow thousands will come to witness the birth and christening of the first American 500. This first American 500 Stock Car Racing Classic will be a personal challenge to 43 of the world's finest chauffeurs who will be racing on it for the first time. This is a driver's track, 1 mile, the classic distance, but the only one of that length on the NASCAR circuit. The surface is fast, made even faster by being banked the entire mile, from a minimum of 5 degrees on the octagon-shaped home stretch to a peak of 16 degrees in the second turn. The super swift backstretch drops 8 feet from beginning to end. Sharp braking is required in the relatively flat first and third turns. But the rest of the way, the accelerator can go to the floor. Surely a supreme test of speed and handling. This first American 500 also marks the return of Richard Petty and Chrysler Corporation teammates Jim Pascal, David Pearson, and Bobby Isaac to NASCAR's Super Speedway circuit. They'll provide Ford with factory competition for the only big track race of 1965. Work is feverish in the pits, particularly in the Ford camp. The word along pit road is that Ford wants more horsepower to combat the brute power of the Chrysler Hemi engine. The race is supposed to be a contest between Ford's superior handling ability in the turns and Chrysler's straightaway superiority.
Well, our biggest speed here, our highest speed, will be in the neighborhood of 135 to 40 mile an hour at the end of the straightaway. So that means we slow down to probably 100 mile an hour or a little bit less than 100 mile an hour through the corner.
Well, the cars here, if they get around this place, they're really going to have to handle it. It takes a real good handling chassis to get around a racetrack like this. You got to set your front end up where the car leads to the left. Got to have a rest smart bite. and it's just going to be a handling racetrack, I think.
But Ford wants more horsepower, which means experimentation, and which in turn results in blown engines. But neither the drivers nor their mechanical crews appear worried, which merely adds to the mystery. The battle for pole position is the skirmish before the war, and for the first time in 1965, a manufacturer's pride is at stake. Will the fastest qualifier drive a Plymouth, a Ford, or a Dodge? Plymouth Petty is the first of the factory-backed flyers to make a qualifying run. He goes out onto the track unusually early, and everybody wonders why. Maybe Petty figures it's true that the early bird gets the worm. His blue number 43 is almost a blur down the straightaways. And here comes the official announcement. 2 world speed records for a mile closed course. A fastest single lap of 116.504 miles an hour. 6 miles an hour faster than anybody else has ever run a lap on a mile track, and a full lap average speed of 116.260. Still another world mark. But will it last until sundown? For all of Ford's top drivers, plus the remaining Chrysler contingent, still have a chance to beat the swift clocking. It's a losing battle. Petty speed stands. A half mile an hour faster than Johnson and almost a mile an hour faster than third place Pearson. What was the secret?
Well, as far as the pole goes, as far as us getting it, I figured it would be between me and Junior and David, and it wound up that I got to qualify a little before the rest of them did, and the sun didn't bother me like it did Junior and David. The sun's going to be a real factor on us going into number 1 corner, because as about 4 o'clock, 3:30 or 4 o'clock, the sun gets right in our eyes, and it's going to be real hard to see. And if anything happens, then we're liable to have a little trouble there. But other than that, it's going to be real good.
Well, the sun problem could be quite a big factor here on race day. I think most of the boys are preparing for it. I am myself with a different type windshield, and also we're taping the windshields quite down low on different types of goggles and sunglasses. But between 3:45 and 4:30, I think you'll see the pace drop a couple of miles an hour.
There was a different type of glare at North Carolina Motor Speedway the night before the race, one that no one complained about. The glare from the sparkling shapes and faces of 24 Carolina's beauties competing for the title of the first Miss American 500. Sponsored by the JCs from nearby Hamlet, the beauty pageant ran as smoothly as a finely tuned engine, which was only appropriate since the stage was the racetrack. It also seemed appropriate that the entries were almost evenly divided between the 2 Carolinas. If pinpointed on a map showing both of the states, North Carolina Motor Speedway would be right in the heart. Certainly, many hearts fluttered during the parade of young lovelies. Time neared for a decision from the judges, whose task was both difficult and delightful. Difficult in deciding who would win, but delightful in knowing that it would be impossible to select a loser. But there could be only one winner, and here she is. Who, me? That's the surprised reaction from the first Miss American 500, Samantha Townsend. And when Miss North Carolina, Penny Clark, crowns this well-curved cutie from St. Paul, North Carolina, the regal headpiece fits perfectly. Now it's Sunday, October 31st. Race day. Throughout the night and early morning, thousands have been flocking into the arena known as the Super Scenic Super Speedway. It's the biggest event ever for this sandhill section of the Old North State, and more than 40,000 fans have come to North Carolina Motor Speedway to see the world's most modern racing plant. A spectator's dream with no bad seats anywhere in the 30,000-seat grandstand. They have come to breathe life into this new baby and to see the race of the year. It's the first time in 1965 that Ford has a big track challenger, and Chrysler is determined to return triumphantly after a year's absence. Certainly there is no lack of competition in the starting lineup. Richard Petty has his famed number 43 Plymouth sitting on the pole. Junior Johnson, who says this is his last race, has his Ford in the front row in the second spot. David Pearson's Dodge is in third place, meaning the top 3 qualifying spots were earned by drivers of 3 different make automobiles. Alongside Pearson on the second row is Ford's old foe, Curtis Turner, just recently returned after a 4-year absence from NASCAR. The next 2 rows are all Fords: Marvin Panch, Fred Lorenzen, Cale Yarborough, and Dick Hutcherson. Then come the remaining Chrysler threats: Jim Pascal in a Plymouth, Bobby Isaac in a Dodge. Rounding out the list of serious contenders are Ford drivers Sal McQuagg and Ned Jarrett. Now, this is it, the first go of the 500-mile journey. This is the moment the multitude of Richard Petty fans have been waiting for. But it's Johnson, not Petty, who breaks into the lead. The baby, known as the American 500, has its first accident less than 10 seconds after birth. What a beginning. One that veteran Darrell Derringer and rookie John Sears won't forget. Both were innocent parties, but both now must retire to the sidelines. Racing experts appear correct on one point. They predicted the first turn would be the action central at North Carolina Motor Speedway. And it's Junior Johnson out front, driving his last race just like every other one, flat out and belly to the ground, but in hot pursuit of a Hemi-powered Petty Plymouth and the Pearson Dodge. Factory back number 6 as Pearson powers his Dodge past Petty into second place. After 20 miles, it's a picture report card. Ford, Dodge, Plymouth. Ford, Dodge, and Plymouth as Petty teammate Pascal moves into 6th place. But the leader remains a go for broke Ford man Johnson, whose heaven on earth is out front in a stock car race. And he stays there through laps 30, 40, and 50. But don't look back, number 26, because a pilot named Pearson wants the lead. And the man who's been belching on Johnson's bumper for 15 miles finally moves alongside. Neither man will back off. Careful, careful. But Johnson keeps his lead, and Pearson may have trouble. It proves costly for Chrysler Corporation in the third turn. Gene Black's number 75 couldn't avoid collision, and after 58 miles, it's all over for car number 43. Richard Petty, one of stock car racing's most popular drivers, finds it's a long walk home. Pearson is just slightly more fortunate. He'll continue, but he's no longer a factor. Too much time in the pits to straighten out a banged-up fender. The Chrysler threats are now just 2, Isaac and Pascal, and there are 440 miles to go. That man out front just keeps on going. Johnson's been in the lead for all but 2 of the first 70 laps. yielding to Panch on a pit stop. But now there's another Hemi-powered Tiger on the prowl. Dodge driving Isaac advanced to third place after the Petty Pearson accident and is now stalking second place Turner. A duel of blood-red cars, and Isaac sweats blood before his number 35 finally overpowers the number 41 Ford. But Isaac's appetite is far from satisfied. He wants the whole hog, meaning the lead, and now he's moving in on the fabled number 26. The Dodge driver has company in his pursuit of Johnson. Turner doesn't believe three's a crowd, and he wants to join the fun. But three was a crowd, and the man in the middle, Isaac, made like an elephant as he went through the eye of the needle to burst into the lead. Auto Racing's two roughest chargers, Johnson and Turner, had just been outcharged. From 10th at the start to the lead after 82 miles, Isaac had done his job well. Certainly Johnson was impressed because he announced after the race that Isaac would drive for him in 1966. The story of the lead, the first 99 miles, was the story of Johnson and Isaac. Johnson led for 86 miles and Isaac for 11, but neither was a factor again. The fantastic pace they set resulted in unscheduled pit stops. Johnson ended his career after 154 miles with a blown engine. Isaac continued, but his tires were chunking so badly that he had to back off. Moving into the lead for the first time is the old pro, Curtis Turner, the only one of the first five in the early going to be a factor anymore. After 125 miles, the top five reads like a Ford Motor Company ad. Turner, Lorenzen, Yarborough, Panch, and Hutcherson, with Pascal Plymouth occupying sixth place. Pascal pitted on the 126th lap, and a new driver, Richard Betty, took over Plymouth number 42. But it was more than a lap in the rear of leader Turner. Turner's racer appropriately is numbered 41. That's his age. And there's considerable talk in the chitlins and cornbread belt that he's over the hump. But this is the Turner of old, driving with dedication and a broken rib suffered in a race 2 weeks earlier. Can Turner meet the challenge of old age, a broken rib, and a host of young drivers for the remaining 350 miles? Turner meets that challenge, finally relinquishing the lead to teammate Panch on a pit stop. But it's only temporary, and Pop seems to know it, calmly cooling it while the Glenwood pit crew performs its usual magic. Turner is out in 25 seconds, and now it's Panch's turn. A feeling of contentment prevails in the pits of the Wood brothers. Only two cars are in the same lap, Turner and Panch, and both Fords are owned, prepared, and serviced by the Wood family. After 250 miles, the man they call Old Leadfoot is still in control, with Panch running a close second. But Curtis Turner knows the job isn't completed. The blue streak that just passed him was Richard Petty in number 42, getting into the same lap with the two Fords. Are Turner and Pants conserving the brakes on their Fords, or is Petty really that much faster? In any event, the pride of Plymouth is pouring it on, and he's gaining mightily. E.J. Trivets' bout with the guardrail brings out another caution flag, but it gives Petty a chance to move up closer to Turner and Pant. And at the 265th lap, it's a three-horse race. The hum of the excited crowd matches that of Petty's Plymouth as he moves ahead of Pant to take second place. Turner is aware of this new challenge, and he almost loses it in the first turn. But try as he might, and didn't he try, Turner gives way. The new leader after 276 miles is apparently the people's choice, Richard Petty. It's been a long time, more than a year since Petty led at a super speedway, and he seems to be making up for lost time. Continues to pull away despite the caution flag. He's averaging 115 miles an hour now, and only Turner remains in the same lap with him. Can Petty's equipment stand the pace? 45,000 fans wonder, and so does Curtis Turner, the man who's under orders to conserve brakes, but also the man who's chafing as Petty charges farther ahead. Richard Petty's father doesn't seem worried. Only happiness lines Lee's face as his son streaks by Turner and goes into a lap lead. It's the first time during the day that one driver has been in a lap by himself. At the 350-mile mark, it's Petty all alone, and then a flock of Fords, Turner, Jarrett, Yarborough, and Panch, all just waiting for something to happen to the leader. Something has happened to the leader. This stop wasn't on the schedule. Impatience is showing, but what's the trouble? This is the worst moment in auto racing. Sitting on the sidelines and watching the race go by. You're defenseless. From a lap lead, Petty now finds himself behind. The frantic pit crew finally finds the trouble, the distributor cap. But now the Petty Blue is 12 laps behind, and the last Chrysler threat has been eliminated. Now all Turner has to do is fight off his fellow Ford drivers. Most persistent of his pursuers is Yarborough, a young man with greatness written all over him. Yarborough, who is still looking for Super Speedway victory number 1, tries desperately to take the old pro. Youth, meaning 26-year-old Yarborough, versus experience, meaning 41-year-old Turner. But Turner likes a challenge and is giving this youngster a driving lesson. been 19 years since Turner started racing, when his antagonist was just 7 years old. And the experience is paying off. The man's hungry for victory. He knows his career as a factory driver may be at stake. But Yarborough's hungry too. The question is, who's the hungrier? Turner's car, that's who. It's a quick stop at the 438-mile mark. The last pause number 41 will have to make. Just 62 miles to go, but Turner probably wishes it were 500 as Yarborough has almost a lap lead. Again, Turner goes into the first turn too hard. Maybe the sun is becoming a factor as all drivers feared it would before the start. Turner gains, but ever so slowly. He needs a break, like a caution flag where he can close up. Or when was the last time Yarborough took on gas? Too long ago is the signal as Yarborough has to stop. It's quick, just 12 seconds for 10 gallons of gas. But the new leader on lap 474 is Turner. Impossible. Yarborough doesn't believe it. The margin is 15 seconds with just 26 miles to go, and Yarborough pours it on. Too much first turn or too much sun. Maybe it's both. Still, he charges. The old pro, though, isn't about to let go. Not this close. He's had too many bumper-to-bumper challenges this sunshiny afternoon to worry about anyone a straightaway behind. Now there's one to go. Wins by 11 seconds over a game Yarborough to capture his first big track victory since 1958. Nobody left early. They stayed for the king's coronation and to watch a hero return from exile. Challenge after challenge after challenge. All afternoon, Pops had to prove he wasn't through. Over the hill. Never was he farther back than his starting position of fourth. He led for 239 of the 500 laps. He outfoxed and outdrove stock car racing's best and won the first American 500 at an average speed of 101.9 miles an hour. Curtis Turner thrives on challenges. It's his life's blood, and victory once again is flowing through his veins. Today, the man called Pops presided over the birth of a baby. He breathed life into it and gave it its first spanking. But he saw it grow into maturity in less than 5 hours. And the American 500 is a baby no more.